Have you ever looked someone in the eyes, someone you deeply trusted and just felt it? Something wasn't right. Their words didn't match their energy. Their smile was a little too perfect, and behind their carefully chosen words you could sense it. They weren't telling the truth. What do you do in that moment? Do you confront them head on? Do you stay quiet and pretend? Do you gather evidence, or do you let your instincts speak louder than their lies? Because here's the truth. Everyone at some point in their life will be lied to. By a lover, a friend, a colleague, a parent, a stranger, and how you respond in that moment reveals more about you than it does about them. If you've ever sat in that uncomfortable silence, knowing someone is lying right to your face, this video is for you. This isn't just about catching liars. This is about mastering your emotional response when someone chooses deception over truth. And trust me, if you watch until the very end, I'm going to share a perspective that will completely shift the way you deal with dishonesty forever, not just in others, but even in yourself. But before we dive into the heart of this conversation, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Stoic Vibes, and turn on that bell so you don't miss a single drop of wisdom. Because the more you understand human behavior, the more peaceful your life becomes. Now, let's dive deep. Let me take you back to a moment that changed how I view trust. Years ago, I was dating someone I thought I'd spend the rest of my life with. Let's call her Sarah. We were inseparable, or so I thought. Late one night, she told me she was going to visit her friend from college. A simple dinner, nothing major. I trusted her, or at least I wanted to. But something in her voice was different that night. Not shaky, not nervous, too calm, like it was rehearsed. The next day, her story didn't quite match what she'd said before. The timelines felt off. Details were vague. I asked her what movie they saw, and she paused. Just for a second. It was in that pause that everything unraveled. I didn't explode. I didn't accuse. I just observed. And in that moment, I realized something that would stick with me forever. People will lie to protect their version of reality, but you don't have to lose yourself trying to decode it. You can learn how to stand in the truth, even if the people around you refuse to. Why do people lie? Understanding the psychology behind it. Before we talk strategy, let's talk understanding. Because reacting to a lie without understanding the motive is like treating symptoms without knowing the disease. Why do people lie? Here's what most people won't tell you. Lying is a defense mechanism. It's how people shield themselves from pain, rejection, accountability, shame, or sometimes the discomfort of confrontation. People lie for 5 main reasons. Number 1, fear of consequences. They're afraid of what the truth might cost them. Number 2, desire to protect feelings. They don't want to hurt someone they care about. Number 3, shame. They feel guilty or embarrassed by their actions. Number 4, manipulation. They want to gain something or control a situation. Number 5, habit. Some people lie so often it becomes second nature, but regardless of the reason, it doesn't make the lie harmless. When someone lies to you, they're making a silent calculation that protecting their comfort is more important than protecting your trust. So if you feel that sting, you're not overreacting. You're just waking up to reality. Let's learn how to handle it like someone who knows their worth. Now, I will told you the 5 powerful ways to handle a liar. Number 1, stay calm. Don't let emotion ruin your insight. I once had a mentor tell me, when someone lies to you, the first thing they watch is your reaction. They're not watching your words, they're watching your eyes, your breath, your energy. Liars are testing you. They want to see if you'll buy it. They want to know if you're emotionally vulnerable enough to overlook it. So the first way to handle a liar is this. Don't react. Observe. Let them speak. Let them dig their hole. Don't interrupt. Don't accuse. Just watch. When you stay calm, you create mental distance between you and their manipulation. You begin to see clearly. You notice body language, inconsistencies, nervous habits, things you'd miss in a heated emotional state. Your silence becomes power. In my own life, I found this technique alone has saved me from reacting too soon and taught me everything I needed to know about a person's integrity. Number 2, ask gentle, precise questions. You don't need to corner someone into a confession. You just need to ask the right questions. Imagine someone lies and says, I was out with friends last night. Instead of saying, I don't believe you, try, oh, cool, who all showed up? Nice, where did you guys end up going afterward? What time did you get back? Don't ask like a detective. Ask like someone genuinely interested. Let them build their narrative. Why? Because liars build weak stories. They rely on vagueness and repetition. The more details they add, the harder it is to keep their story straight. I once had an employee who lied about missing work because of a family emergency. When I gently asked, "How's your uncle doing now?" he stared at me blankly. He had forgotten his own lie. Liars trap themselves with their own words. You just have to give them room to walk into the net. Number 3, mirror their story. This is an underrated tactic. Here's how it works. Take what they say and repeat it back to them with a slight deliberate error. Then watch their reaction. For example, they say, "I went to Lisa's house last night." You say, "Yeah, when you said you were at Lindsay's. I figured you were catching up." If they're telling the truth, they'll calmly correct you. But if they're lying, you'll often see a flicker of panic. They're trying to remember what lie they told you. That flicker, it's more honest than anything they'll say with words. Liars are always juggling. One small slip and the whole act falls apart. Number 4, let them talk and say nothing. The best way to expose a lie is to let the liar keep talking. There's a phenomenon called verbal leakage. It happens when people say more than they should because they're nervous or trying to oversell the lie. I once had a friend explain why he didn't show up for an important meeting. I hadn't even asked him, but he launched into this 15-minute monologue full of details, excuses, random timelines, and irrelevant backstory. I didn't say a word. I just let him talk. By the end of it, he had contradicted himself at least 3 times, and he knew it. Liars often collapse under their own words. Your silence gives them enough rope to do it. Number 5, know when to walk away without needing a confession. This one hurts, especially when it's someone close to you. You've gathered the clues. You've seen the cracks. You've watched them lie to your face, and still you want them to admit it. Just say the words, "I lied, I'm sorry." But here's the bitter truth. Some people will never give you closure. Not because they don't feel guilt, but because admitting they lied means confronting themselves. And most people aren't strong enough to do that. So the most powerful move you can make is to walk away without needing their truth to validate yours. When I left that relationship with Sarah, she never confessed, never admitted to anything. She doubled down on her version of the story until the end. But I knew. And more importantly, I knew. That's enough. You don't need to prove someone lied to justify your exit. If your intuition screams and the evidence whispers, that's reason enough. So what to do after you discover a lie? Catching a lie is one thing. Healing from it, that's a whole different battle. Let's talk about what happens after you realize someone lied to you. Because lies don't just break trust, they break worlds. They shake your sense of safety, question your judgment, and make you doubt your worth. So here's what you do. Number 1, accept what happened. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't explain it away. A lie is a lie. Number 2, feel your anger. Don't suppress it. Don't pretend it didn't hurt. Let it out in safe, healthy ways. Number 3, resist the urge to retaliate. Silence, not revenge, is your loudest answer. Number 4, redraw your boundaries. Distance yourself emotionally. Reevaluate your trust. Number 5, choose self-respect over closure. You don't need their apology to start healing. I promise you, if you lean into truth even when it hurts, you'll come out stronger, wiser, and more grounded than before. The hardest part about being lied to is realizing that the person you trusted you to believe in their lie. But the most beautiful part? You get to choose truth, even when others don't. So here's what I want you to take from this. You don't have to explode to handle a liar. You don't have to prove them wrong to reclaim your peace. You don't have to expose them to the world. Sometimes the quiet act of walking away is the loudest thing you can do. Don't let their dishonesty change your honesty. Don't let their games harden your heart. Because when you know how to stay calm, ask the right questions, hold your silence, and walk away with dignity, you win, not just the conversation, but your peace. And peace, that's worth more than any lie. So if this video spoke to you, helped you, or healed something in you, smash that like button. Subscribe to Stoic Vibes and share this with someone who needs to hear it. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.